welcome back to another episode of Nope, Still Not Famous. I hope you guys enjoyed the last one. Some people told me it was really helpful, but I think it was a little too technical. And I don't want to make them all technical because some people who are just starting out don't need to know email templates and stuff like that. So this one's going to be kind of a fun video, another important one, but a little bit more light, I guess, on the subject. This one is about creating your image, creating your brand, because who are you? Why do we want to know you? What makes you special or different from the other famous artists that are out there? So people don't realize that being a musician is still being an entrepreneur. I mean, you are creating your music, you're creating a business, you are trying to sell something in some way. So this video can also help you if you are a business person, if you are a company, if you're an actor, but because I'm a musician, I'm just going to talk about musician stuff. I'm going to throw some logos out at you, some very popular ones. These band logos, a lot of them are just a specific kind of font, actually, and then a specific color. Some of them actually have just logos, like the Rolling Stones, 21 Pilots. That's why when I was creating Lexxi Raine music, I wanted to figure out something that would be my logo. What could be seen across the globe and people know, oh, that's Lexxi Raine. So what these popular bands have found out is image is everything. The way that you present yourself on stage, off stage, the music you let out, the logos you put out, the merchandise, even what you tweet out, even what you put on Facebook, you know, you have to think about how everything you do, what the reaction is going to be. Is it going to be positive? Is it going to be negative? Are people going to start not liking you? So you always have to act like you're on camera or something, like you're always acting. Being a Buffalo musician, I see a lot of local bands. I've done this for enough years where I can kind of see one take the stage and I can see if they're gonna head somewhere. I can just look at them and see, well, they don't really care about their image. They're wearing hoodies or football jerseys, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there's a band in Buffalo, 5-piece band, suit and ties, every performance. It is so aesthetically pleasing. Damn, this is a band that cares about what they're doing. They care about how they look, what they're presenting to the audience. Those are the kind of bands that I want to actually pay attention to. For those of you who have seen my live performance with my band, you might notice that we color coordinate a lot because I think image is key. If you make a mistake on stage, sometimes it's not as important because, well, they look great, you know, and it sucks to say that, but that's the truth. Before being a solo artist under the name of Lexxi Raine, I was in a band called Avid. We used to have music videos, we used to perform all the time, getting up to 100 people coming to the performances. We made merch, we made a CD, and our colors were blue, yellow, and white. It took a long time to decide what colors we wanted to do, but we did photo shoots with those colors. We made a logo out of it, actually. My guitarist mom made a logo. So cool. Some people said it looked a little bit like Dream Theater, but whatever, we ran with it. We went on stage every time we had the same colors on. We had a Halloween masquerade ball theme, and we all wore masks. Image was so important to me, it always has been. I really think that with the right image, you can catch someone's eye, and they're more likely to buy your merch. They're more likely to come to another gig. I performed at Birdfest last week, and so many people came up to me telling me how great I looked and how great we looked as a band, and that meant the world to me because did my bandmates want to put on the outfit I told them to? Probably not, but we looked damn fine. So after Avid kind of dissolved, I still play with the drummer a little bit, but I made Lexxi Raine, and I went into my producer at the Music Lab in Niagara Falls, and I decided that I wanted to make an EP, and it was called Moxie. I tried to make all the different colors, a different emotion, and all different poses, sadness, happy, blah, blah, blah. And I made a music video. That was it. I put it online, but I didn't have a release show. I don't want to say it flopped because a lot of people liked it. I made a lot of digital sales from it, but it didn't do very well. And that's why with the second EP, Fun While It Lasted, when that came around, I thought, start from scratch, do it all over, be way better. So that's why I wanted to create a logo, and I could not think of anything. I thought about a masquerade mask, I thought about a certain type of flower, and the guy I was dating at the time said, what about an ice cream cone on the ground, all melted and like no one wants it anymore? I was like, oh my god, yes. The album didn't even have a name yet. It was just 7 songs, and I was still trying to figure out what the album was going to be. So then he thought about the ice cream on the ground, and I thought, what about someone holding it, you know, melting around your hand? And then we talked to his artist friend, who I'll show the rough draft against the finished product, and it was amazing. And that's when the album name came to be, you know, Fun While It Lasted. The ice cream was fun and delicious, and you wanted it so badly. And then someone grabbed their hand around it, and now it's like, oh yeah, I don't want it anymore. So each of the songs on Fun While It Lasted is about kind of a different relationship, and they were all fun while they lasted. I cannot tell you how many people love that ice cream logo, and around Buffalo at least, it is very recognizable. People use it for posters that even a year later after Fun While It Lasted was released, when I perform again, they use that ice cream logo because it really is, it's very recognizable. It's bright pink, you know, like, I mean, how can you forget it? And this video, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the merchandise, but I'm gonna have a whole other video about merchandise if you want it, because I'll tell you what, I have gotten stickers, buttons, t-shirts from a bunch of different suppliers. I know which ones work. I know which ones have the best deals now. So I would like to make a video about which merch I made and why I made it. That's why with all this merchandise, I couldn't just put my name. I thought that was boring, so that's why I got the ice cream logo made. I figured out the name of the album. I went into Canva again, and I figured out that the font I was going to use was Crushed. So now that's my font everywhere. And not only is image important, but consistency is really important. You don't want to have a different font on 5 different posters, because then that gets confusing for whoever's paying attention to you. Once the logo was finished, I started putting it on the stickers. That's actually the album cover, and I didn't expect that to be what it was going to be. I thought it was going to be my face again, but I thought, do everything different. Make a release show. Make this a huge thing. It didn't have to be pink, but I will tell you, I used to work with a girl who didn't like me, doesn't like me, and she could not get over the way that I looked. She thought I was this blonde idiot who loved Taylor Swift and the color pink. And I do like Taylor Swift. I don't care about that. One time I came into work and she had assigned everyone colors, and she said, "What's your favorite color?" And I said, "Blue." And she said, "Oh, I already put pink on your desk." I decided, it, her, I'm going to own it. You know what? Yeah, I write a lot of love songs. Maybe I am like Taylor Swift. I don't care. I'm gonna make a whole EP dedicated to love songs and make all 7 different. I'm gonna run with pink. I'm gonna make sure that pink is the biggest color on my website, on my store, everything. So you know what? Yeah, you come to my show, pink. Pink lines, the merch table, pink lights behind us on stage. We're wearing pink, you know? So I just thought, if people are gonna think that I'm really girly and like Taylor Swift, I'm gonna embrace it and screw everyone else around. So that's why the ice cream is pink and everything else I have is pink. Maybe it's a little petty. I wanna embrace the things that people might not like about me. So I think that's a good way to live, right? And also, I just want to say, like, don't judge people. Don't judge a book by its cover. I know that's a stupid thing to say. It's been said so many times before, but it's so true. Ever since people started judging me and how I look, I make a mental note to never do that to other people, because you have no idea what a person goes through, who they are. So that's just my little do unto others as you want to be done to you. Is that the phrase? I don't know. So yeah, I did make a release show. It was at Mohawk Place, which is my favorite place to play in Buffalo, and I will pop some pictures up. Everything was pink. I made the band wear all black with pink ties. I wore a pink skirt because, like I said, I wanted this to be big, and we almost sold out. I wanted this to be not just another local show. I wanted this to be an event, something that you remembered. I sold so much merchandise that night and CDs. I mean, again, if I just had my face on everything or no logo, maybe I wouldn't have sold so many things. Maybe it wouldn't have been this big night, you know? It would have just been like, okay, my friend's band, they're releasing a CD, you want to come? Okay, sure. No, it was really cool, and people again told us how great we looked, how great we sounded. And then I tried to carry that into my photo shoot and my music video, What the Lonely People Do. My mom says that I'm a tragic romantic because my music it makes her feel something that she's never felt from another artist, and she's my mom. But I like that. I like being called a tragic romantic. I think I'm gonna run with it. The photo shoot that I had was in the snow and lingerie, and I kind of want to just make a statement, because before then I was always this like goody two-shoes girl. I wore the red dresses and the red lipstick and the hat for my first album, Moxie, and I was just a really good girl. And this time I wanted to kind of shock people a little bit and show this new side of me, where I'm not just coming out of high school and green, think the world is a beautiful place. Like, no, I've experienced hurt and some tragedy. The incongruity of being in the snow and lingerie, you know, that's what I wanted. I wanted it to kind of not sit well with people. Same thing with my body music video and What the Lonely People Do. I purposefully put my friend Ariel in that video because you see me in bed with guy, girl. Whoa, what happened? Did I see that correctly? I think shocking the viewer is really fun. And now people tell me that they're always looking for the twist. They're looking for the hidden egg or the thing that they weren't expecting at the end to happen. And I like that. I like that my songs make people feel weird, but in a good way, that it makes them feel really deep, you know? It brings up all these old memories that they hadn't thought about in a while. And then they watch my music videos or my live performances, and it's so real that sometimes it doesn't sit well. When I said image on stage is important, I do mean color coordinating, obviously, but it's also more than that, stage presence. I will make a whole other video on performing. It probably will be a short video because I'm assuming a lot of you know how to be on stage, but I wasn't good starting out. I mean, now I walk around the stage like I own it and I'm already famous. But back in the day, I used to kind of stand there and be nervous and just sing and not move around. And I remember getting off stage 5 years ago, maybe, or maybe more. And this guy from another band, he said, "I got some tips for you." And he did give me those tips. And I was very annoyed. I was thankful, but I was like, wow, could you be any more condescending? Like, who are you? You're not famous. But that was a turning point for me, and I realized being on stage is a show. You're asking people to pay to watch you perform. You have to give them a performance. Think about Kiss back in the day. They showed up on these very tiny stages still in their makeup, you know? They dressed like they were famous. And you gotta act like you're famous on stage. You gotta act like you already are there. A lot of people don't understand that. It is something that you don't start off knowing how to do. None of this you know how to do. Obviously, you see that my band flopped, and then my first EP didn't do so well, and then the second time around with my solo EP, I was like, I know how to do this. I know some of you probably aren't at the level where you're making merchandise or you're even creating a CD, and that's okay, you know? If you're just starting to perform on stage, or if you're just starting to write music, like, that's amazing. You're gonna get to all this stuff eventually. Just take it one step at a time, because none of this was easy. I spent months planning. I think I thought about the idea for a new album in October. The release show was in April, and in that time, I had to create the logo, create the merch, create the CD, record the CD, film a video, get the release show started, fill the bands. It was a lot to deal with, you know, and I was stressed out every day. This all takes time, but the earlier you start thinking about your image, the better it's gonna be for you. Figure out what's gonna make people like you right away, whether it's your appearance, your sound, your logo, your trademark, something that makes them remember you when they leave that local show. They're gonna add you to their Spotify playlist because they like something that you presented to them. So remember, presentation is absolute key. I hope this was a fun video. Like I said, it wasn't very technical. I will make another video about the merchandise. But I think that was pretty much it. I had a lot of help. I had my mom, my ex-boyfriend, friends help to create the logo and to help me decide what merch to get and decide, okay, well, what should the album cover look like? I remember being at my mom's house, and when I was ordering it from Discmaker, we had the font like completely different. I need help, and that's another thing. You can't do this all on your own. It'd be nice to be a billionaire and look back at your life and say, I did that all myself, but who can say that? No, you need people's help. You need people's support. I got money from my family to help me buy all the merchandise because it wasn't very cheap up front. Thankfully, I think I made all of it back. So I just want you guys to realize that image is really important. Creating your brand, catch someone's eye with a font, a color, a logo, something to make people think about what you are. And I hope you guys learned a little bit. Please comment below what you think, if there's something where you want me to elaborate on, or something that you just thought was interesting, because I love hearing all of this. Like, subscribe if you already don't. If you guys follow me on Facebook, I have been telling you that there are 2 huge announcements that I haven't made yet, and I'm really excited about both of them. I can't decide which one I'm more excited for, but you will get the first one on Friday next week at midnight, I think, depending on how I plan everything and make the video, because it's not just going to be me in the video, it's going to be someone else. And I'm really excited for that announcement. Stick around. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Nope Not Famous, and I will see you in a couple of weeks. Put that bell on because you're not going to want to miss it. All right, bye guys. Have a great weekend.